But first up is the Phillip Watson designed 6-piece Sumatra and Conch lily bulbs. That's right, a featured price of $25.50 and 5 easy payments of $5.10. This is item M89859. We've had over 700 ordered this season, and this season just started, so imagine that. They're just flying right out the door. A beautiful, beautiful lily. I mean, I have them with me right here on set, and I am just overwhelmed with how amazing they smell, but nothing is like a fresh cut lily, and we have those for us right here, right now, in 2 different colors. They smell incredible. Now, so many of our big designers are out there trying to capture the smell of lilies with perfumes and different fragrances, but you want to bring these home, get these in your garden and planted. We're gonna bring in Mr. Phillip Watson right now to tell us a little bit more about these beautiful lilies. Hey, Phillip, how you doing tonight?
Hey, Steve. Good evening to you. I tell you, I'm overwhelmed here with all the fragrance. Here it's like a perfume factory in here, and I've got these lilies in my garden and have had them in my garden for about 7 years now. And this conch one right here, this is the golden shell. That's what it translates into. The blooms are enormous, 7 or 8 inches across, and just full of perfume. And then you've got the Sumatra, which is nice. This really nice red wine color.
So pretty.
They will get 4 to 6 feet tall. They come back every year. They multiply like crazy. You get 3 of each color. This is a big collection, 6 big bulbs that'll bloom like crazy this year because I'm not shipping out little bulbs. I'm shipping out big bulbs. And these will send up a big stalk that's very strong. You don't have to stake it, and they'll bloom like crazy for about 6 weeks.
Okay,
and
so
if you want fragrant, this is the way to go.
Phil, we're getting 6 bulbs, so we're getting 3 of each of these. Is that correct? So 3 of the 3 different colors.
That's correct.
3 of the 2 different colors.
Correct.
Okay, got it.
Indeed you are. And they do multiply. And if you've got the most congested bed, you think nothing else is going to fit in there, you can always get that bulb in there. And because the lilies don't have a lot in the way of foliage, they will not shade things that are beneath them. So I planted these right in with my daylilies, and they come up and they bloom above the daylilies. That gives you a really high level of interest in the garden by having these spectacular lilies up high like that, and you can smell the perfume all the way across the garden. Look at that yellow.
That yellow is just absolutely golden and beautiful. I love that the way the color kind of sort of ombres out into a lighter color. Now, we only have 3,300 for the entire season. So
that'll be it.
And that's it. And we are already flying out the door. People are picking up more than one because they're wanting to create that beautiful sort of lily bed out in their yard. Now, Phillip, would you recommend us planting the Sumatras separate from the Conch or doing a whole mix and match?
I've mixed mine all up. I have to tell you, I mixed them all up. You can't go wrong. They look great together. And for me, I like to have the conch with it because it makes it show up more. The dark flowers sometimes don't show up by themselves. I need to have something lighter. That's why I mix these 2 together because one plays off of the other. And again, if you could, you're one and done. Get them in the ground. You only need to plant them about 4 inches deep. Full sun to slight shade. The more sun you have, the better they're going to be. The stems will be thick, 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 and they will not bend over. This is just going to keep going on in your garden for years and years to come. I look forward to mine blooming every summer, and I can count on them. They're always going to be there, and they bring on that, it's like Christmas coming in the middle of the summer because it's gifts up on stems and multiple flowers per stem. And that Sumatra, when you're looking close on that, when you see the white piping on the edge, it's like perfect upholstery. Really, really nice looking plants.
Oh, they're so beautiful. This beautiful deep red color. I can't help but think of dragon fruit with all of those speckles in the leaves, right?
Yes, yes, indeed.
Just so bold and beautiful. Now tell me, when we get these planted and we start to see them start to sprout up, what's the care like for the sun, water? How much of each?
Full sun to slight shade. That's what they really like. And I will plant the bulbs about 3 feet apart because it's a whole lot going on. And then that gives them room to expand and multiply also. And I've got privacy hedges on one side. I have mine in front of that because they show off so nicely against the privacy hedge. It gives me something nice sitting up here. But if you pick up my whiskey barrel, you can plant them, and I would do 3 bulbs per barrel, and they will stay in here for the rest of time because they're perennial. They come back every year. In fact, I use them in containers a lot because I can have other things in the containers with them. They
Right.
will grow up through anything else and be taller and show all of that beautiful color and the perfume.
Amazing. Now we only have 3,200 remaining of these beautiful lilies. We've already sold now 800 of these incredible lilies, and they're going very, very quickly. And as Philip was just saying, they are so easy to plant, and you're going to see those blooms over and over again. Now tell me, Philip, what do these look like when they're not in these beautiful bloomed flowers?
Well, when they're first coming up, they almost look like a pineapple top coming up. Then
Uh-huh.
it keeps getting taller and taller and taller. And then the buds come out on it, which look like big Havana cigars. That's how big these blooms are.
Right.
Because the blooms can be 6 to 8 inches across. And so there they are. And then after they finish blooming, the foliage is still up there. It'll start to season at the end of August. And I'll tell you something about this. My fertilizer, I fertilize mine when I first plant the bulb, then I fertilize them again in August because that's when the foliage is starting to season and it will store that energy and give you even more blooms the next year. So that's just a little tip to know.
Okay, very
But
good.
water them in after you've planted them and just keep them evenly moist, not in a boggy area or in a desert area. And these will go on in the coldest part of the country. I've used them in gardens in Aspen, Colorado, and I've used them down in Pensacola, Florida. So we got all sorts of extremes here, but very easy to take care of. The easiest of all things to plant that I offer, because all it is a bulb that goes 4 inches deep.
Okay, very good. So what we're saying is, like, typically when we sell plants here at QVC, we're going to ship these to you at the appropriate time that you should be putting them into your yard, into your gardens. But
Indeed.
if I order these and they come home to me very soon, will I be putting them in even though we're sort of at the tail end of winter right now to start getting that sort of movement and having those sort of come and bloom come springtime?
Listen carefully.
Okay,
I'm not going to ship anything to you before it's safe to plant in your area.
there you
That's
go.
the way that it works.
Yes.
But the nice thing about the bulbs is that you can take your time putting them in. These are nice big bulbs that I'm sending out to you. This is what they're going to do. They're going to bloom like crazy this year. And so take your time planting it, take it out of its bag, and just sit it out on some paper. And you can take up to 2 to 3 weeks to plant these. Only 4 inches deep, whether they're in the ground or in a container, and you'll have beautiful blooms. I mean, crazy beautiful blooms and all kinds of fragrance. And I'll tell you another little trick. Let me see if I can get over here and just
Just
do this.
beautiful.
Instead of picking the whole stem, this is what I'll do.
Uh-huh.
I'll take off one bloom
Oh, perfect.
instead of the entire stalk
Yeah.
and put that in a vase. And that way you've left the other ones in the garden. And then you also pull off all of that pollen that would be in there that I've already pulled off. And it will make the flower last 3 or 4 days longer in a vase because it'll quit maturing.
Wow.
There.
Very good. Some tips and tricks here. And you know what, Philip, you probably, I mean, you're a designer, you know these things. Like sometimes one single stem, one single flower is more powerful than a giant bouquet, right?
Well, and one flower will actually perfume an entire room. But let me tell you this, I'm a horticulturist who happens to design gardens. And if you don't have the science behind the beauty doesn't hold up. This is a really good deal. I'm looking at how much these are. What is that?
Yeah. Can you believe that? $25.50.
Mercy.
How about that?
Yes.
And these have only been
Look.
with us since February 15th. We've sold over 850 so far. How about that?
Oh my gosh. You're getting 6 big bulbs that are going to bloom like that this year. Count on it. And they're guaranteed for an entire year. You'll get your growing guide to tell you all about that. And I'm going to take care of you, but I bring you unusual things. If I brought run-of-the-mill things to my clients, I would have no clients.
Uh, there you go. Correction. I'm sorry. I said 850. Now we've had over 900 gone. People are absolutely loving these. Now we only have 3,100 remaining for the season. These are 5 easy payments of $510. And of course, with our plants and gardening moments, you're going to get free shipping and handling. How about that? That is amazing. So Phillip, can you walk us through this guarantee one more time?
Certainly, because I'm going to take care of you. I've been here on QVC for 29 years now.
Have you
I want you to
really?
be happy. Yes, sir, I have.
Wow.
If you've got any questions, you can call us at the number on the screen. You can also email us. And any questions that you've got, we'll take care of it. But I want you to be happy. And the perennials are guaranteed for an entire year and annuals for 90 days from time of shipment. If for any reason you're not happy, I'm going to make you happy. That's the bottom line. Thank you so much for trusting my brand.
I'm going to trust you for the whole show, actually the rest of the evening, because you're with me all evening. And I love it because you have just given us a beautiful lily fragrance throughout the entire set right now. And I'm loving it.
Thank
Feels
you.
so much like springtime.
Good.
We've got something else coming up from Mr. Phillip.